Hi Liz.
Hey, Maya.
So how are you doing?
I'm great. How are you and Benny doing?
Yeah, we're doing fine. Winnie just lost her maternal grandfather last Thursday, so
Mm.
we are dealing with that right now. Like, yeah, he is old. Like I know that, but you still love, and it's like I would say that we are selfish in that we don't want them to go. But at times, like he was ill and he has lived a good life. So
Yeah,
I guess it was time to say goodbye.
yeah. Well, and y'all were with me through when my grandmother died too, a month or two ago. It was, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
what's y'all's
So,
process
like
over
it's
there?
a bit different. Yeah, it's like a bit different because I think we don't bury our elders. We like deads. We do cremations. Like we'll have a pyre of wood, which is usually sandalwood, but it has gotten so expensive, so we use like mango tree woods, and then we'll put sandals on small sandalwood on the or deads, and then we'll burn them. And that's the first starting process. And then we'll have a mourning period where we'll do some mourning at the fourth day, and then we'll do it the 13th day, and then the 17th day. 13th day till 13th day, that there will be things like no food will be cooked at home, and like everyone is in mourning, so they will not do any jobs, they will not open any shops, and they will not like cook food at home. It's the word that what like you don't flame your stove at home. So whoever is in not mourning, like it's usually a husband's wife side of the family, is if it's not in the morning, is when you go and they will bring you food from them. So nowadays it's like they will just give you money and you'll buy the food from outside, and but no food will be cooked for that 13 days. And then you will choose the another elder of the family. Vinny is saying that it's for 4 days, okay, but I used to remember it for 13 days. So it may be different for different cultures also. Like there are certain sections of society who do it differently. So Vinny is saying it for just 4 days. So let's believe her because she knows better. So then on the 13th day, you'll, if it's an elder who has died, and you'll choose another elder on behalf of him. Like there's a hierarchy, like head of the family, like father has died. So you'll choose the next heir as his son, or that's how things are done here. So
Okay.
how it's different there? Like I know that you do the funeral thing, but I never asked you what's the whole process about that.
So typically here, and of course, it's different everywhere and based off of different cultures and stuff. But like with an example of when my grandmother died, and it's my maternal grandmother, she wanted to be buried, and so it's very expensive. Like, I think the average cost of a funeral here in Texas is like between $7,000 and $10,000 to bury somebody. We do cremation, but very few do that. It's typical down here that it's a burial, and so you get what's it called? Well, they drain your blood and they put this stuff in there to keep you from going sour, I guess would be the term. It's not a very good term, but that way, so it can take some time. Different people do different time links. Typically, you want to be buried within a week of your death. So like she died on a Sunday morning and she was buried on a Friday. So it was within that week time span. But there's lots of expenses. You got to go get the casket and those kinds of things. You got to go get a plot to be buried into. There's a lot of things to do. There's a service to where anybody who knew you can come. So there's two services. There's a service just kind of like a meet and greet and just giving your condolences to the family and those kinds of things. And then there's the actual funeral the next day to where they talk about them. There might be like a religious part aspect to it depending on their religion. And then you actually go to the gravesite and actually watch them put them in the ground. So usually one member of the family stays to watch that part to make sure, that they're put in there safely and they're going to be there to rest. So, but yeah, so it's very expensive. But we do cremation. But we don't have this mourning period like you're talking about. There's not specific rules that I'm aware of that no cooking and those kinds of things. Typically, they what? And typically they people do bring you food because they're like they know you're having a hard time, so they'll bring you food. So you have a lot of casseroles and stuff. But I've never heard not cooking at home, so that's definitely different.
Oh, so ours is a bit indifferent also. Like if you do cremations, what do you do with the ashes? Because in our culture, we do go to the holy river Ganga. There is a river in India which is considered the holiest one, and it like clears all your sins, whatever sins you have, and will give you ultimate what's the word? There is a word in Hindi, moksha, so it will give you an ultimate, so you don't get entangled again in the life circle. Like we
Oh.
consider that you have life, so once you die, then you will born again and born and again. So if you get point is to immerse your ashes in river Ganga is to make like if you had any sins, they will wash away, and you may get the ultimate point. You reach the ultimate point, so that you get released and you don't have to be reborn again into this world, which we consider is like you are paying for your penance here.
Mhm.
So you'll reach heaven and then you don't have to be born again. So that's how we do it here. And you also get to do dipping in river Ganga as you are also, so that you can also wash away your sins, so that you can do more sins. So that's the thing also here. So what do you do with the ashes?
Okay, before I answer that, I think you were American in a previous life because how well you deal with me. But anyway, so ashes, that's different per family. Some people buy like an urn and have them like on their mantle and so that they can see their loved one on the mantle every day. And then some people scatter them. So like my dad wants to be cremated. And my dad has changed his mind a few times. He used to want to be buried. But he says, take me to places that I loved so that I could be there forever. And so one of his favorite places is where he grew up, Big Bend National Park. And so he wants me to scatter some of his ashes there. And then he actually wants me to kind of spread them all over. And so he wants me to take them to places that he loved and so that he can be there forever. Some people pour them into lakes and rivers and the ocean and that kind of stuff. So my husband wants to have a Viking burial where you're on a boat and he wants me to shoot flaming arrows at him, but I don't think that's legal here. So he might have to pick a different thing.
So have you learned to do bow and arrow thing also? It
Yeah, well,
should
I know
improve your
I've
aim also if you have to do that.
I've done it, but now who's going to build me the wooden ship so that the whole thing burns?
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, so we
it
have to
has to
see.
be like very flammable also.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and
What's your plan if you're interested
it's
in
going to
that?
depend. So I'm an organ donor. So if I die young and healthy, then I'm going to donate my organs to people who need them. Um, I also thought about there is for doctors there is a thing where they have to have bodies to practice on and learn from. And so you can actually donate your body to science so that people can learn from you. And then there's actually a body farm where like criminologists, they put your body in different kind of settings and like so that criminology can learn how to solve murders. And so, like, they might blow you up, they might leave you out to rot, and so that people can see that process and be able to tell how long a body's been there. So I kind of have a lot of different ideas. I might be a cadaver for doctors to practice on, or I might go be in a body farm. I don't know.
Oh no,
You're
I
like, that's
wouldn't.
a little
I
extra.
wouldn't imagine doing that to my.
That-
Yeah,
That's a little
you
weird,
had me
right?
like imagine that. Wow, I wouldn't want to do that.
Oh, come on. And you don't get
No,
a choice
I mean
either.
it's not weird. Like I understand that that's how you learn. Like that's how science grow, innovate, and everything happens. But I think in India, I think they do that for whoever has died and cannot be identified in like road rage accidents, or if somebody has been murdered or dumped somewhere. So if these bodies that cannot be recognized is how they do it, but I'm not sure that I would do that for myself.
Well, and
No.
also it's kind of a thing that, you're not here, so you don't really know what your loved one did with you. So, of course, what I might want might not be what my husband or son does. So that might be too traumatic for them. So they might not do it. So if they don't do the donation thing, then I would ask to be cremated, because I feel like we're running out of space. You know what I mean? Like the world's only so big and it's very populated, and so I feel like if everybody's buried, then we're going to run out of places to put them. So I would like to be cremated. So there you go.
Okay.